Hey, what's up, guys? This is Cody the Coin Raptor, and welcome to my channel. I'm here to provide you the best crypto content that I can. All right, including chart TA, news, and on-chain analysis. All right, so let's go ahead and start with Bitcoin. So, yesterday, we called out a potential double top forming here, and it looks like the pattern has played out as we expected. So we have, again, one top here, and then the second top here, unable to push through this resistance line right here at about 21,750. All right. Now, one thing also I want you guys to pay attention to is the volume here. If you'll notice, the volume has been decreasing nearly every single day, and the way it stands, the volume's been decreasing and the open interest has been decreasing, which tells me that there's not a lot of people buying and there's not a lot of people selling. Essentially, that's what that means, which is problematic for Bitcoin, because in order to push through this resistance line that we see here, that basically they tried to break out from these resistance points. In order to push through that resistance, you need to have more volume coming in and more open interest, because the more open interest you have, the more volatility you have, the more fuel you have essentially for a fire. So Bitcoin needs that. It needs that volatility. It needs volatility. It needs volume to move up or to move down through major supports and major resistance levels. So the way I see it playing out so far is either it's going to dip or it's going to go and chop sideways for a bit. And what happened today was we got a very negative NASDAQ, and Bitcoin's correlated to the NASDAQ, so naturally it's sold off and headed down. I'll even show you here in the 1 hour. We'll take a look at the 1 hour. That was the 1 day, and you can see this massive sell-off here. And so it even went through this local support here very briefly at 20,650. So either it's going to chop sideways for a bit, and then it's probably going to go back down again for a little bit. No doubt, and we'll probably test the support here at about 19,700, and then we'll see where that goes. Right now, it does not look particularly bullish for Bitcoin, and I have not bought or sold any Bitcoin since yesterday's video. All right, so let's talk about Ethereum. Same kind of story with Ethereum. You have the double top going on here, but you have multiple points in which it tried to break out from this support level. So if you can see, let me get rid of this. You can see you have multiple levels of resistance over here, and then you have the double top. 1, 2, false breakout here. It went up, and then it came back down again. Sellers pushed the price all the way down. And just like Bitcoin, Ethereum volume has been declining rapidly. You can see here declining pretty rapidly like this. And just like Bitcoin, it needs that volume in order to push through the resistance level. So I'm not buying any ETH right now. I'm just staying put and waiting this market to work itself out. All right. And finally, the DXY, the dollar index. The reason why we talk about the dollar index is because Bitcoin trades inversely to the dollar index. All right. The dollar index measures the dollar against several foreign currencies like the euro and like the Japanese yen. So I drew this sideways pennant here. It actually busted through that. So the uptrend for the dollar index has been broken. Now it'll probably wind up trading sideways for a little bit, but it could also reverse course and head upwards. But I think it's more likely that we'll get some sideways action on this. All right. Okay, so let's talk about some crypto news. Again, you may ask yourself, who is selling Bitcoin right now? Well, according to CoinShares, institutional investors exit crypto market at fastest rate ever recorded. All right, the fastest rate ever recorded. Now we're talking about $420 million in outflows last week, with Bitcoin taking the brunt of the blow. All right, now again, these institutional investors are not looking for risk, and Bitcoin is seen as a risk. So naturally, they're going to pull their money out of Bitcoin, and they're probably going to buy back in when it finally finds a bottom. You can see here, according to CoinShares, massive outflows especially from Bitcoin, and that is who has been selling. In addition to the miners, we talked about the miners yesterday. The miners have massive outflows as well. Not particularly surprising. I think that this will reverse course as soon as this bear market is concluded. But for now, institutional investors are staying away, especially that I'm sure that many of them are spooked by things like the Terra Luna crash and what's going on with Celsius. So speaking of Celsius, I also have information on Celsius. Celsius, the crypto platform, right, discusses possible bankruptcy filing amid liquidity issues. So Celsius has been hiring advisors for potential bankruptcy filing, and this is not surprising. They've hired several consultancy firms to help the DeFi platform navigate how it will address bankruptcy issues. So the concern here is that they're insolvent and they're unable to pay for their debts. And what that means is that they could potentially look at declaring bankruptcy, which would clear all of their debts. So they've been hiring these restructuring lawyers, and they've been trying to figure out what's the best way to do this. So right now, it's not looking good for Celsius, but we haven't had anything confirmed from the company itself. They've been very tight-lipped. They haven't hardly said anything about it. They might be just illiquid right now. They may not just they may have the funds, but they may not be able to move the funds for now. We'll see. I'll keep you guys appraised of this as I get more information. Finally, crypto exchange FTX is reporting looking to buying Robinhood. So, FTX CEO Sam Bankman-Fried denies reports of an acquisition. However, rumors are, that FTX is looking into buying the exchange Robinhood. And honestly, I think that where there's smoke, there's fire. And this is a lot of smoke right here. This is a lot of smoke. These rumors aren't coming from nowhere. But Sam Bankman-Fried has not confirmed it. He says that the company isn't currently in the process of trying to acquire Robinhood. That being said, I wouldn't be surprised given the fact that he has previously bought 7.6% of a stake in Robinhood. Again, would not be surprised, especially as Robinhood price dips, because I've actually looked at this several times, but Robinhood actually has quite a bit of cash on their balance sheet. So I wouldn't be surprised if FTX does actually acquire Robinhood, because they are trying to get into the stock buying and selling industry as well. So I think this is a definite possibility. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. If you like this content, please be sure to like and subscribe and follow me, especially on Twitter. I would greatly appreciate that. Let me know what I can do differently. Let me know what you want me to cover. All right, guys, that's all I got for you. Have a nice day.